Whoa. Ready? Are you ready? Come on, hurry up.
Right, so this week we're going with a bang. We're going to be looking at Tyron bands. Did you do your research about Tyron bands?
I haven't had time to.
Oh, you're joking. So, Tyron bands. We're going to be looking at Tyron bands. Get your comments in. Are they good? Are they no good? And we're going to look at sort of a few things with them. The biggest point being is if you've got Tyron bands fitted, you need to make sure if you're having new tyres that the tyre centre is aware of them, because they'll charge you firstly extra for the Tyron bands, and secondly they need to have a special machine or tool to be able to fit them. So we're going to look at that in a minute. We're going to have a look at some vans that have come in. We might even play Guess That Song. I don't know what song Mark has got in his caravan today. Can you hear that? So let us know in the comments what that song is if you can guess it. We're going to have a look in that van. Customer van. So this came in for a warranty repair on the fire. Couldn't get the fire on the gas to work. So first things first, let's put some gas actually on, because if we've not got any gas on the caravan, then we're not going to actually get the gas fire or anything to work on the gas. So we can make sure our connection is all correct, which I already have done. Turn the gas on. And then on our fire, if you've got the older Truma type fire, we're going to have a look at a couple of things that might stop it working. So one, we're going to check that we've actually got gas. Can you hear that? So we know that we've got gas coming through. I have already bled the gas through the system and made sure that the gas is coming through. So that's the first thing that we want to do, is actually get the gas through the system, make sure it's coming through, make sure it's lighting. On the gas side of the fire, this button turns this on, and you should try and get my microphone down there. You should be able to hear a ticking noise. Now, if you can't hear a ticking noise, it might be that you've got a manual igniter, so that should be the first thing. So either that, it's normally that side I think, next to the actual dial. So make sure that you've not got an igniter that you have to press. If you're not sure whether the igniter's working, if you hold the end and press the button, you'll soon know that it is definitely working, and you won't ever do that again. It'll shock you, won't it?
Oh, will it?
Yeah, if you hold the end of the igniter and press the button, you swear. So we've done that a few. It's like licking a 9-volt battery, isn't it? You have a little blimey, I just had a stroke.
How do you even know that? Why would you even do that?
It's when you're daft, isn't it? So the other thing, if you've got no clicking, is you've got a little battery in the igniter, so you need to make sure that your battery is good.
That's only if it doesn't click.
Yeah, if it's not making that that hopefully you should have heard. Make sure your battery's good, make sure it's in correctly. You can check that this is actually working by basically crossing. So when you take this off, you've got two connectors, and if you put a little flathead screwdriver across those two connectors, you'll actually hear it ticking. So make sure your connections on the back are correct. So your main igniter one coming out, again, don't put your finger on there and press those or short the two connectors there, because again that will shock you, so don't do that. But make sure your igniter wire is on, make sure that your power lead is on. So we'll make sure then our little battery unit is back in, and then what we can do is turn the knob on the top and just make sure it's lighting. If we can't get that to ignite, and when we've got a new battery in there and we short the connectors where we put our power leads and it's still not clicking, it's going to be that unit there is no good. If that is clicking, the chances are that it's over here and it's within the gas control valve and everything, and it's quite a big job to change it, and normally you end up taking the fire out to be able to get it into there. There is a little micro switch that can sometimes break, but if it gets to that point, it's probably book it into a service centre or a repair centre and let them sort of fix it for you, because it is a bit more involved job. So
That fire off then? Because you made it look just easy.
It's just knowing and just having the knack. Sometimes they've got screws in the front that hold it in, but it will just literally pop off, yeah, and then just feed off, and then just make sure the bottom feet are on. So your sort of bottom feet rest onto the either side, and then just push back in. Turn it round, hold the gas valve down, the ticking will stop, give it a 10 or 15 seconds left in, and you should hear the gas light up, and that's lit then, and that is working. So make sure your gas bottle is fully on. We had somebody in the comments who'd got a problem with his water heater, and it was because the gas bottle wasn't open enough, which is why I normally like to try and get the gas through on other
So have you fixed
parts
it
first.
It wasn't working. What
it was just the battery wasn't located properly.
Oh.
So yeah, he brought it back in. We'd said to him, "Oh, just double," because sometimes if you knock it and leave it in the on position, the battery will run down. But as it was, he'd put a new battery in, but he hadn't just pushed it in properly yet. So let me just turn the gas back off on that. So yeah, nice easy fix. The fire was actually working. It was just literally either the battery had come loose during travelling, because again that sometimes can happen, or the battery had just been, the igniter had been knocked, the battery had been left on, and it had gone dead. Bessicar Cameo 2018 565 is just in the middles of cleaning this. This is nice. So this is lovely. Look at the half leather seating at the front, a little bit of a leathery seam on the stitching and middle section, big pan roof, big sunroof, big fridge. So you've got the slimline fridge freezer, nice single beds. Look at the luxury on that. Look at the back bits on that, and then nice big end washroom, separate shower and toilet at the back there. So this is just coming 24,995. All the Corian worktops. You've got CD radio in the bathroom, extractor fan. Not a CD radio in the bathroom, you've got speakers from the CD radio in the bathroom. Aldi central heating.
Have a boogie in the shower.
Yep, definitely. So that's a nice one that's just come in. Next door, we've got a Sprite Alpine 4, which has come in part exchange. Make sure the radio's off. So we sold this to the couple a year or so ago roughly, and they bought the Coachman with the island bed at the back. So they've just gone for, they'd got a smaller car at the time, I think it was a smaller car at the time, so they could only tow this. Got a bigger car, gone for a bigger van. Found that they loved caravanning. So a really nice sort of step your foot into the waters and find out whether caravanning is for you, even if you've got a nice little car. Weight on this one, it's a 2017. Yeah, 2017, 1,300 kilograms maximum and 1,099 kilograms as she stands here now. We need to level that up a bit as well, because it's not quite level, that. It's a bit up the top. We've got the 6 berth. I think we looked in that last week. The Conqueror, that's sold. The little Swift Alpine 2, that's sold. The Sprite Finesse, that's sold. We started to fill up down this side, so we had a quick little look in that little Sprite last week. We had a quick little look in this Coachman. We've still not priced this Coachman just yet. That was that little 2 berth, wasn't it? So that was a nice one. You had a bit of a look in there. What else have we had? I think that's most of the newer stuff. So let's have a look at actual Tyron bands, how they're fitted, roughly what they do, and then, as I say, let us know in the comments whether you like them or you don't. Tyron bands. A lot of people like to have the Tyron bands fitted, and what basically happens is there's a band that goes into this part of the tyre, and it stops the actual sidewall being able to fall within the middle section of the tyre rim and allowing the tyre to actually come off of the rim and sort of collapse. So if you have a puncture or a blowout or anything like that, probably not so much quite in a blowout but more of a puncture situation, and the tyre starts to go flat, the tyre then can't fall into the sidewall and then start ripping to pieces. It will literally stay on. So it's not like a run flat, but it's sort of as close to a run flat without having a run flat as you're going to get, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So basically, the Tyron bands and sit in this section of the rim. So these fill up the gap all around the inner section of the rim. There's 2 bars now that will go into this side and onto the opposite side, and this will clamp in and lock in to this middle section. This will then stop the tyre being able to fall within that middle section, and that should then keep the actual tyre connected onto the wheel and stop any issues. Not 100% sure on blowout situations. Sometimes on a blowout it can sort of rip the tyre apart, and that will still do a little bit of damage, unfortunately. But a normal puncture, it's going to stop an awful lot of damage on the caravan and potentially save any big accidents as well. So very, very well worth having. So if you have got a Tyron band sticker, so the Tyron band sticker like that, if you've got one of those on the actual wheel rim of your tyre, what it basically means is that when you have new tyres fitted to your caravan, you're going to have to let the tyre company know, because not all of them have got the little Tyron band machine that will allow the removal and replacement of the Tyron bands. So it means that if they come to change your tyres, or you take it somewhere to change your tyres and have not got that machine, they can't actually do it. So very, very important. Always just double check. If you've got that Tyron band sticker on there, the 99% chance that you're going to have Tyron bands. Have a check in the actual paperwork for the caravan, because in the paperwork you should have a Tyron band little pack with a little Allen key, and that is what potentially the garage is going to need to use to remove the actual Tyron bands. Now it is just literally an Allen key, so it's not anything out of the ordinary. So if you've not got the actual Allen key for the Tyron bands in the pack of books, then it's not the end of the world, but that's sort of roughly what you should have in your actual pack of books, and a leaflet on the Tyron bands telling you about them. If you've got all that, if you've got the sticker, you've got the little pack in the pack of books for the Tyron bands, the chances are this is actually what is fitted to the insides of your tyres. And then these just literally tighten up, and that then locks the Tyron band into position, and that is now what is going to stop the actual sidewall of the tyre falling in. We've filled that gap up so that the tyre wall can't fall in. So if we have a puncture, tyre goes flat and we start running on the tyre, it's not going to come off of the rim and cause a load of damage. Obviously they can still cause damage, and if we're going along quite quickly, it should keep the tyre actually attached to the actual wheel itself, and stop any major problems. And anybody that's had a blowout or a flat tyre as they're going along at quite a bit of speed will tell you that the Tyron bands do make a big difference. So if you've got them, definitely have them refitted back in when you have new tyres fitted. So a lot of people do like the Tyron bands. It does give you that extra bit of protection, so that if you have a puncture, it just stops the actual tyre coming off of the rim and causing you problems. And again, they say that on blowouts, even if you have a blowout, it reckons it still keeps the wheel part of the wheel, or the tyre part of the wheel. I don't know. Let us know if you've had any experience of that. Normally, if you have a blowout, it still does quite a bit of damage, so I don't know really that they are that effective in that scenario. We don't fit them So it's not something that we offer, unfortunately, but there is companies out there that will fit them. And that's about it for this week, I think. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. We've got a self-build update that is coming. I've pretty much edited that up. It's took ages. It's took us nearly as long to edit that video as it is to actually do the build. You'll see. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark at the Caravan Place.